We are all born naked, and the rest is drag. Namaste, everyone. My name is Tarushi Chaudhary, and this is my podcast, Stories You Should Know. If there's an art form that's more misunderstood than others, it's probably drag. And along with it, the drag performers, who we know as drag queens. So I'll put it in simple words for you. Drag queens tend to be performers who dress and perform in an exaggeratedly female persona. They perform their act, show their skills, and be their true self. Divya Roop, who also goes by the drag name Divine Scarlett, is this week's guest on the podcast. Divya Roop's journey from Shimla to New Delhi wasn't an easy one. Born in a traditional Indian family, Divya Roop's fight has been a really long one. His story is difficult, but the one that truly inspires many. It's time to listen to that story. So, you would like me to call you Divya Roop or Divine Scarlett?
Right now, Divya Roop will be okay because I'm not in drag. Divine Scarlett is my drag name. So.
Yes. How did you come up with your drag name? I'm very interested to know this. I didn't want to start the conversation with it, but I'm very interested. So I'll just do it right away.
Well, it's actually very simple. My name is Divya Roop, and Divya basically translates into English as divine. And that's a very interesting name. So I was like, why not? Let's go with divine. And then I was like, let me think of a last name. What should be the last name? And then I was like, Scarlett sounds very nice, probably because of Scarlett Johansson or something. I don't know. But
That's quite a
that's how I
nice
came up with
reference,
Divine
though.
Scarlett.
It's a beautiful name. I
Yeah.
mean, both your names are very beautiful. It just and
Thank
it
you.
kind of correlates to each other so beautifully, so poetically. It's so nice.
Thank you. Actually, the funny incidence is about my real name. So a lot of people see my first name as Divya and my last name as Roop. Well, Roop is something that people hardly notice because the first name is something that everyone notices. So everyone is like, "Oh, Divya, probably a girl." And the moment I enter, they'll be like, "Oh, bam, that's a boy." And this name was actually given to me by one of what do you call it, a saint who was staying with us at our home. And he was doing meditation. I was a wee baby, and my name was supposed to be decided. And my mother and my father were disputing about what name should it be. So my mother wanted Toshu, and my father wanted Tathagat. So my mother did not like Tathagat at all. And eventually Toshu became my nickname anyhow because mothers are mothers. So
Absolutely.
uh, that became my nickname, but the official name was supposed to be decided, and my father was like, "Listen, there's a saint in our house who's living with us for a few days while he's passing by. So let's just ask him." And he was actually doing meditation. When he woke up, and he just directly walked up to my father and he said that, "What do you think about the name Divyaru?" And my father was like, "No questions asked, taken."
Done.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting story
So that's
behind
the
your name
story.
itself. So, I would like you to introduce yourself. This is one thing that I do in my podcast. I ask my guests to introduce themselves because I personally believe that's the best way to put out about yourself to the world. So, how would you introduce yourself?
Well, my name and my drag name has already been introduced. So my name is Divya Roop, and I use the stage name Divine Scarlett for my drag persona. I am a human being before anything else. Age is just a number, gender is just a word. So I believe that I'm much more than that. Although, to be specific and for the, identification for the people, so as to say, I would like to mention that I am 28 years old and I identify as non-binary person in terms of my gender identity, and in terms of my sexuality, I identify as homosexual, and I do a lot of things. Currently, I'm working in a call center. I write emails. I have been promoted from calls to emails, and yes, so I have my own YouTube channel, which goes by the name of Divine Scarlett again, duh, because my drag name. And I have been posting a series called posting videos under the series called Gender Chart, where I talk to various people who are non-gender conforming, and I usually post it on Wednesday, but this Wednesday I had to miss. I think I'm gonna take a break for a few weeks probably because I've been doing a lot of things, so I'm taking a break with that series for now. Also, I need to develop my skills as a drag queen more because I really wanted to break stereotypes in drag queen as well. I wanted to explore more. I wanted to make it as an art form instead of just a performance.
How long have you been
So
doing
that's what
drag?
I'm currently
Since
pursuing.
since how long have you been doing drag?
Okay, so it's quite. I don't know how to explain this because for a lot of people, drag can mean differently. So for me, I had been, using makeup for a long time, ever since I was outed to my family. I had been using makeup like eyeliner and kohl pencils and a little bit of lipstick at times, mascara. So I had been using makeup. As RuPaul also says that, you are born naked and rest everything is drag. So basically, everyone is performing, everyone is doing something to portray a character basically in front of everyone else. So that is what actually drag is.
Right.
But in terms of makeup and exploring more with the makeup and doing actually the kind of weird, wacky, exaggerated, and you know too much of queer makeup. That kind of drag is something that I've been doing for past couple of years, I'd say, or maybe 3 4 years. I had been experimenting, so I won't really be able to pinpoint what exactly is the moment that I can say that this is my drag. I have been doing
Right.
it. I mean, the name Divine Scarlet is something that I think decided for it for like 4 years probably. But yes, I still have been improving my drag, so it's difficult for me to say when I started.
Before moving forward, I would like to rewind a few years back, maybe when you were in school or college, how things were back then. I read about you. Your father was a principal, so you had to move around a lot, and he was the principal, so you had to be like a very very obedient kid in school. Also, it must have been very difficult.
Yeah.
And I'm
Well,
saying this because my mom is a principal, and it's I know.
well, you know the pain of students whose parents are principal, basically. So the funny thing is that I had to be the ideal student, as you mentioned. So yeah, and I was not. I have been beaten up by my father a lot of times. So teachers would not beat me if I do something wrong, and they will right right away send me to my father because principal's child, not taking any risk. Just go to your father and deal with it. We are not dealing with you. So I used to fail my unit tests, my class tests. I used to never have my homework done. I never used to take notes in my class. But the funny thing is that I always topped in my final exams. So, there has been hardly a record where anyone would say that Divya Roop never topped the final exams. I always did. So this became a lot of difficulty for my father actually, because in the whole school, everyone thought, even the teachers and the parents and everyone
So your
started
father
thinking
must
that
have given you papers. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was like my father's, and my father was like, listen, I know that you're doing it on your own. And I knew that I'm doing it on my own because I had this very, weird skill of seeing what my teacher is writing on the board and just memorizing it right away. You can ask me by the end of the semester, you can ask me by the end of the year, and I will still remember it. So I used to have a very good, brain, but no one would believe that because, again, he failed all the tests, but he passed the final exam. So, yeah, that was my school days. And
And
that was still 10th.
how old were you when you came out to your family, and how was the things right before that? Because it must have been very difficult for you during the school time. Also, you couldn't talk to anyone about it. Your father was a principal.
So my defense mechanism, as so as to say, was to stick to my books and be busy in my computer and things like that. So I never focused or never thought about what exactly is it that I feel attracted to, if I'm attracted to guys or girls. Although I had the idea because there had been instances where I felt that it was kind of exciting or
Right.
sexually pleasing to me, although not anything physical, but I could sense that. But then I tried to steer clear of that, even till 12th, to be very honest. Um, but the thing is, in 11th and 12th, I moved from my hometown and I moved to Chandigarh. I had the opportunity to explore a little more. And it's just that if, the more I started to realize the difference in me and other people, the more I started to feel that I am different from other people. Um, I kind of started having the fear that my family is not going to understand it because I have seen my family. I have seen my family react to certain kind of people. I have seen their point of view. They are very patriarchal. Even the women in my family are, patriarchal. So that kind of gave me an idea that it probably isn't the best idea to let my parents know just yet, possibly. So, also because I was busy reading and studying and understanding myself more, so I used to be on internet quite a lot. Apart from that, I used to play computer games a lot. This has been my habit since like childhood. You can blame my father for that because when I was born, every child when they are born, they are either given cricket bat or some sort of cars or etc.
Or
I
dolls
got
in
computers, so
or dolls in our cases, or teddy bears.
yeah, yeah, and in my case, it's nothing. It was just the computer. So I used to play Dave. I used to play Mario. I used to play Aladdin. I used to play all of that. Prince of Persia. I mean, all those games. I have played the DOS games, and I have grew up with that. And I was always a computer geek who would. I mean, at the age of 5, I was probably opening and reassembling my computer myself.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so if I grew fond of technology, fond of computer, fond of mobile phones. Eventually, when the mobile phones came into existence in India, I grew fond of cameras and anything digital was quite soothing for me, so as to say. It was like a game, a sort of sport for me.
Right.
So my family was very, I probably believe that they had started sensing that I am not the way every other kid has been growing up, and I'm not. So they used to be very angry about the fact that I would stay in computers and spend my time on computers and technology, and rather than going out and playing sports like other men, other boys used to. And I used to really get pissed off about it because I never felt that I'm like those people, and I never wanted to be like those people. So I would always have a fight with my sisters, with my parents about why am I not like other kids. and it was difficult for me to explain to them at that point of time because I hardly knew why I'm not like other kids.
Right.
So I just felt angry and frustrated that why do they want me to be like other kids? I cannot be like other kids. At times I would try. I would be like, okay, fine, I will give it a try. I will give it a try, and eventually I realized that no, this is not me. This is just not me. I do not want to go around in scooty and roam around and take, Gadian of Sector Satara and everything. That was just not me. So yeah, it used to be like we would have fight. I would have fight with my family at times because of the way I was handling the things, and so the fights had already started. But I did not realize that my parents are actually kind of scared or probably already skeptic that I am not going to be like other boys. I did not know that. I did not feel that because for me there was nothing wrong with.
Right.
And eventually, when I finally came in terms of understanding that, okay, I am actually something called homosexual, I am something called gay. And that is something that I've actually accepted or decided to accept myself as gay person when I turned 18. And I have had all the attempts that I could do to date a girl, to try to probably feel sexually attracted towards a girl, and I tried my best. And honestly, it was very strange because the way people used to feel about their girlfriends, I never did that. And one day, my girlfriend ran away and married another boy, and they were in Assam for some reason. I don't know why. And then I was like, okay, she got married. Why would she marry that guy? That was my reaction.
Right.
That was my reaction. For and if I see any other guy right now, they would be like, उसकी ये उसकी वो उसने मेरे से धोखा किया है या तो रोते रहेंगे या फिर they will go fight. And I was like, उसने शादी कर ली? What the fuck? I mean, like अभी तो बच्ची है. That was my reaction.
अभी तो बच्ची है.
Okay, so yeah, yeah, because she was younger to me, like a
Yeah.
year or something. And I was like, अभी तो बच्ची है, शादी क्यों की है? पागल पागल हो गई है क्या? And that is not a reaction that a boyfriend should be giving. But I'm glad that she did. Eventually, she got divorced. But whatever.
Moving
So
back to you.
yeah, moving back to me. So at the age of 18, I finally decided that okay, let me try dating a boy, possibly. Let's see how it goes. And I actually was using Orkut, and I probably am very racist in that manner, but I really did not want to date an Indian guy, possibly because I was scared that if the person is Indian and if it turns out, because I have seen all the people to be my relative somehow. I don't know why.
Because I think
So
Orkut
I
was a very closed circle kind of thing. You would find your relatives, your friends, your chacha ji, mama ji, everyone on it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I remember there were some really cute boys, okay? And in my village, I would see them and I'd be like, oh my God, he's so cute. Why am I not this cute? I mean, I did not know that I'm fantasizing them at that point of time, but they were really cute. And I was like, oh my God, he's so cute. And then and one marriage in my family, and I'll see that boy in the same marriage, and he'll be like, भैया मैंने उनका बेटा मतलब what the shit.
So I think it
So
was probably
yeah,
kind of right to think, let's date some guy who's not from India.
yeah. So by then I was like, I was pretty sure that every Indian guy is my chacha tao ka ladka or something, something, something.
Right.
So back then there was Orkut before Facebook, and I started kind of adding friends from Argentina, from Brazil, from USA, from UK, London. I found a lot of boys who I don't know. I could see them and I could tell that they are probably like me. And I still did not want to accept that I am gay or I'm not gender non-binary. I still wanted to believe that I'm straight. It's just that it could be possible that, like how I see Hrithik Roshan and I feel like, oh my God, is he body bahut hot hai? I want to be like that. Probably that kind of attraction. Okay, so I was not ready to accept that I'm gay. And I would add those people. And there was this one boy from Argentina. We had exchanged our Skype IDs. We used to have video chat over Skype. And that boy actually told me that he is gay, and his parents did not know, but he was planning to come out to them soon. His brother knew. His brother was younger, and his brother, because he was younger, he did not have any problems with him being gay. So he was scared. He was skeptic about coming out to his parents. Um, Eventually, the more we talked, the more we learned. I mean, the more we had video calls at times. He eventually introduced me to one of his friends who was lesbian, and I got to know both of them, and I used to chat with both of them. And finally, when he came out to his parents, he told me that he will have to move out. His parents are not going to accept him, and they are unhappy about it. So the moment heard that, I literally broke, because I felt that if I'm going to come out, and the the way my parents are, way my family is patriarchal, I was pretty sure that they're going to leave me back. So my whole plan was to, remain closeted at least till I'm financially stable, and then come out to them. Probably just keep on avoiding getting married to anyone, and then I will be fine.
Mm.
Eventually, I will live my own private life somewhere else, and etc. etc. But yeah, the things became a little messed up because I decided to learn more and explore more, and then I eventually um, joined a Facebook group. Back then, it used to be called Queer Campus. It was a youth collective, and I started attending meetings. Then I became an admin. I was a graphic designer, and I used to design the graphics for our meetings and posters for our events. And I had a habit of keeping all my artwork stored in my hard drive. And my hard drive had around 500 and 600, 500 or 600 movies, because I was studying animation and filmmaking, so I had to study about the movies, etc. So probably my sister was one day looking for movies, and she found out about LGBT youth group that I was admin of. And I don't know whether she joined it with a fake profile or what she did, but they got to know that I have a boyfriend. His name is XYZ, whatever that name was. Um, and yeah, I got outed before I was even ready to come out, and things went downhill after that. So my father thought that my friends are turning me gay, probably doing some voodoo magic. I don't know what exactly he was thinking. But he thought that the best way to cure my gayness is to cut me out from all my friend circle. So he asked me to start working, and possibly a part time, so that my education does not get hampered. And I used to leave in the morning from my house, run to my college, then run to the office, then come back to house. I hardly used to get any time to do anything. But even then, some of my friends were so sweet, so damn sweet, that from my work to my home, they would come to meet me, give me some company, roam around a bit, chat a bit, and talk to me. And they were always they would always find time to spend time with me, and give me that emotional support that I was lacking. And they realized that it is not working. There was one particular person. I'm not going to take anyone's name because I do not like to
Yeah.
defame anyone publicly. I used to. I mean, I have done a lot in my old days when I was younger.
But
I
we
have
all grow up,
done
right?
a lot of things.
We become more
Yeah,
wise. We understand what to say, what not to say, what might hurt someone's sentiment or not.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this person one day, so because of the stress that I was going through, what happened is that again I was kind of seeing someone and probably emotionally dependent on that person, and eventually that person kind of started dating someone, and I felt cheated. I felt, although we were not dating, but I still felt cheated and felt betrayed. So all of this stress, anger, frustration, I did not know what to do, and I started smoking up. And in my family, smoking and drinking is like, oh my God.
In any family,
So
smoking
that
and drinking
happened,
is like,
but
oh my God.
one of this so-called friend of mine one fine day went to my parents, and he told them that I am spending their money in smoking and drinking. And I tried to tell my parents as well that, father, first of all, whatever I earn from the office that I'm working as a part-time, it's hardly any amount. Secondly, that amount comes to you. I don't even have I don't think that I had a bank account back then. Possibly, I don't know. I used to get checks. So I used to hand over the money to my parents. And I literally used to get 100 rupees or max 200 rupees from my parents for the whole day, from college to, from home to college, college to work back, and then back to my home. So like 200 rupees for the whole day. And in between, I had to eat outside itself because I could not carry a tiffin box because that would either stale or, I mean, how will you manage a tiffin box in two different places when running around here and there? I just did not find it. I still do not carry any tiffin box because I find it really uncomfortable to carry around. So I would eat outside. So I have to eat outside. I have to travel in one, two, three different places back and forth. And from that, I would take out the money to smoke and drink as well. That's like you are trying to basically say that I have some secret hidden money that I am using. Because in 200 rupees, what do you expect from the person? 50 रुपए का फ्रेंच फ्राइज आता है, 20 रुपए का समोसा आता है, कहाँ कितना खर्च करूंगा मैं? I mean, hardly I would manage is one cigarette from that 200 rupees. And even then, when I used to go back to my house, I still used to have like 50, 60 rupees left in my pocket. Like, what do you expect from me? Like, in that 100 rupees, I roam around, I do everything, and then I come back
It
with
was
50,
it
40.
was mostly just like your father knew that he was spending money on something that he didn't approve of. It's the way the
Yeah,
family reacts basically to these things. They don't exactly. It's not about from where the money is coming. It's about what you're
yeah,
spending on. It's more about
exactly.
that, I guess. Yeah.
Exactly. And to be very honest, my father did not even tell me that, he has been told by some of my friends that I have started smoking and drinking. This is something that I got to know that my father got to know like few months back.
Okay.
So back then I had no idea what exactly is the reason that they are like, so frustrated about. And then my father eventually asked me to, you know what, you are wasting our money, you better start working on your own. तुम्हें वैसे भी पढ़ाई लिखाई का शौक नहीं है. That's what my father told me. Because
This is right after your 12th. You're in your first or second year
yeah,
of college. Yeah.
no, not first or second year. I was actually in third semester.
Okay, third semester.
In third semester in DU, but I was also pursuing animation. So I was actually
Okay.
doing two courses.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so when you were in college, this was
So
going
yeah,
on.
I mean, so when I say college, I'm actually referring to two different places again,
Right.
because one was my animation studio, one was my DU college, and then one was my office. So like 3 4 places that I had been roaming around.
Right.
So yeah, and my father eventually told that, after he heard from my friend that I'm smoking and drinking, my father decided that I'm wasting the money. He never told me that he has got to know that, but he told me that I'm wasting his money, and he wanted me to start working on my own. So because I did not know that my father is actually talking about me smoking and drinking, I always told them that, Papa, please tell me what exactly is the wastage of money. I go to 4 different places. I come back with 50, 60 rupees still in my pocket. What do you expect me to, save right now?
Hmm.
So I did not know. And then eventually, I was like, okay, fine. He's like, agar tumhe karna hai, if you want to do the college, work for yourself, get the salary yourself, pay your college fees yourself. Which basically means that if I have to do that, I will have to actually support my complete expenses, which means I'll have to get a full-time job, which means I'm not going to get time to go for, a regular course. So I had to drop out of the college. I started working, and eventually I decided that if I have to live on my own, if I have to take care of my expenses on my own, and you're not going to be a part of it in any way, then I'll probably move out and explore the life on my own, because that is what I was waiting for anyway. I was hoping to be financially independent before I can leave the house. So here I am. I'm earning. I will probably survive anyhow, whether you want to support me or not. I will do that. And that's when I moved to Mumbai. I was living in Delhi with my parents and one sister. And in between, I mean, yeah, when my parents got to know when my sister outed me, there was a lot of drama. So uh, once my father asked me to come to meet him, and that time he was in Ludhiana, I guess. So he asked me to come there, be with him for my monsoon vacation. I went there, and then he asked me, what do you want to do in your life? I told him I want to study, I want to make my career. That's about it. I do not have any other plans. I do not see any marriage. I do not see any such things. And he's like, what do you mean you don't want to marry? I was like, listen, I'm not going to ruin any girl's life. You know what I am, and that's why you have called. I'm not going to marry a girl to ruin her life, no matter what the society is going to say. Society can talk about everything. My father is like, society is not going to accept you. I was like, what society are you talking about, Papa? The society that actually made you leave your hometown and move to Shimla, the society that you are talking about, the one that blamed you for giving too much freedom to your daughters, the society that you're referring to, are you talking about those who never stood up by you when you needed them? Are you talking about that society for whom you have actually fought and bled? Because my father actually did. When I was in school, my father was actually bleeding from here because there was a huge fight in my colony, and my father went in to stop that, and he got beaten up so badly that he was bleeding. But when my father was, blamed for being too, I don't know how to. It's very stupid to even say it, because it's a part of, it was a part of Bihar back then.
Yeah.
So my father used to be free. My father used to give freedom to his daughters. They used to wear jeans pant when everyone else would dress their daughters in, salwar suit and whatnot. They used to point fingers at my father's daughter, my sisters, that these girls, oh, these girls are really bad influence and this and that. They wear jeans. I mean, the man who has stood up and bled for you, you are pointing fingers at his daughter itself. I
Hmm.
asked my father, are you talking about that society that really pointed down on your daughter when you have done everything for them? Because if you're talking about that society, I do not really see how you can think about that society before me,
Right.
because
It's
they have done nothing.
it's so difficult to understand that sometimes when we talk about the society, we are always so much in fear that what will people say around us, what will they
Exactly.
think, and then when it comes to you, when it comes to your family, no one thinks about the fact that, oh, let's support them. They have been doing
Exactly.
so much for the community, for the people around them. Let's just stand by them for once. And I think that is what builds up within families, and then that fear grows, you know. At a point you are a
Mm,
part of the society, but at another point you are not part of the society. It is so
exactly.
scary.
The whole dynamic that we live in, it's very it's very shady, to be very honest, because this whole society, um, the main thing, the main job that they have is intervene in someone's life, intrude in someone's privacy, talk about it, bitch about it, and they call it a society. That is not society. Society is supposed to stand together, to build together, to help each other grow up. If you're not contributing to it, you are not part of my society. First of all, I am not going to accept that.
Yes.
And secondly, when you talk about family, no matter what society says, I mean, you do not have a blood relationship with those society people. So my father was like, no, I'm not saying that. It's just that it's going to be very difficult for you. I was like, it's my fight. I'm never going to ask you to fight. All I ask is stand by me. Remember that I'm your son. That's all I'm asking. I'm not going to say that fight the fight for me. If I have to fight alone, I will fight. You want me to? You do not want me to help. You do not want to help me to fight this battle that I'm going into. Don't, because I am not going to ask anyone else to fight for me. If I have to fight, I will fight for everything that I see is wrong. I have the courage. If you think that I'm any less of a man or any less of a human being or any less of a person, I am not. I'm stronger than you can even think of.
Everyone has their own fights. We just need people to stand by us so that we can just, when we
Exactly.
fall, someone can just hold us and, get us back up, and then we can go back into that fight.
Exactly. And, when my parents backed up and they were not there to support me, or they were not there to, help me lift myself up when I was fallen, at that time, my friends were there. They provided me shelter. They provided me food. They provided me modes of transport. They provided me money as well, so that I can survive at times. So my friends have done so much when I was not even a responsibility for them. But for my parents, I was a responsibility for my parents, because they gave me birth and their child is their responsibility. Every parents give a birth, they have a responsibility. If they don't take it, then they do not get to be the part of their success as well.
It's I really do, I have no words to say anything, because someone who goes through this, only that person can understand. So whatever I will say, or whatever anyone can say, we all can only sympathize. We can never empathize with this process, with these feelings, because we have never been around it, we have never felt it. We can just say that we're just sorry from the way the society is. And
Yeah.
look at you now, you are so beautiful, you have grown into this amazing person. And now moving forward, it was a rough life. We all know it. You just told us
Yeah.
about it. It was a rough life for you. And now, how has things changed? How did drag come into the picture when you finally, maybe decided, okay, let's just go full bang on in it? How did that happen?
That's actually very interesting, because as I said, I always had an interest in makeup for a longest time. I used to play around with mascara, liner, and lipstick. Eventually, I realized that I want to try drag. The whole process of that, actually, what happened is that I do not consider myself, as I said, I consider myself gender non-binary, and I consider myself so when I was I used to wear kohl and liner and things like that. I used to have beard. I used to wear a shirt, and I used to have metal jewelries. So I used to combine all of that, and I always looked fabulous. I will still say. But people always told me that, oh no, you are a woman. Oh, you no, you are so feminine. Oh no, this and that. I was like, you know what? Let me tell you one thing. Femininity and masculinity is in your brain, not in mine. I do not see why Egyptian pharaoh can apply winged liner, but not me.
Yes,
I do not see why Krishna can wear so much of jewelry and I cannot. And I do
absolutely.
not see why a Roman English could wear high heels. The men used to wear high heels, and I should not. It's your mental conditioning, it's your ideas, it's your thought process. You do not want to get out of it, you do not want to think beyond that. Not my problem. You want to think that I'm a girl? Fine. Think that I'm a girl. I don't care because being girl is not a bad thing, first of all. You want to think that I'm a hijra? Please do think because again, hijra is not a bad thing. Because whether I'm a man, whether I'm a woman, whether I'm a hijra, whether I'm none, the main important thing is that I am a human being. So I honestly stopped feeling offended by any kind of abuses. Eventually, I wanted to play more with the makeup. I wanted to do things with the makeup that people want to try or people have been trying or whatever. So I started playing with the makeup more with the colors. And then I started watching drag queens, and I kind of felt that I mean, it felt inside me that it was very empowering. It was so empowering. So I wanted to try drag, and I did. I mean, I was obviously playing with the makeup. What's It's just one step over to be a drag queen. So I tried drag. The first time I did, it felt very I felt very empowered because I could sense that how ugly the men can be. I could sense the fear, the terror that a woman feels going out in public, dressed up as they want to be, not as the public expects them to be. Because when I did drag, I dressed up in the way I wanted to be. That is what the drag is. You
Right.
dress up as a woman, I mean, drag queen. You dress up as a woman and you portray a fantasy creature that people can imagine or probably fantasize about or stuff like that. And the moment I did, I saw the men looking. And I'm not talking about just staring. I saw them looking through me as if I'm an object for their sexual pleasure, and I am just here to obey and give in to their command. But I did not. Probably people might be feeling by now, if they listen to this, that, how could this be empowering? You were feeling scared. How is it empowering? But that's the point. I was scared so much, but I did not give in to that.
I
I
get this
walked in
feeling.
front of
I
those people.
I get this feeling, sometimes when you're so scared of doing something and when you are actually doing it, you're shit scared, okay? Like
Yeah.
you are like, okay, I'm gonna die because I'm so scared. And at the same
Yeah.
time, you are feeling so powerful doing it. You are like, if just let it be. I really don't care what the world says or thinks and
Exactly.
everything. I am doing it because I wanted to do it. Just imagine if everyone does what they feel like and no one judges anyone, this world is going to
And
be
not
such a
harming anyone
better place.
else.
Exactly. This world is going to be such a better place to live in.
Exactly. That's what. I mean, I was wearing 6 inches heels, thigh high boots, and
Which is
I was
not
wearing
easy. Which is not easy to
yeah,
pull off. I know.
and and I was walking down the sandy path, so not at all easy.
My.
So I was wearing that, and I was wearing a purple sweater that I used to have, and it used to be very open neck. So it was I love baggy clothes. Okay, so it was open. So one side of the shoulder was off, and the whole arms were flowing around. The sweater was almost like below the thigh, so thigh and glutes were almost next to each other. And I was walking down the street. People are looking, people are staring, and I felt so empowered. I could feel that, the stare of those people. They can look into me, they can see me, and they can think all the nasty things about what they can do to me. But I will walk in front of them, and they cannot even touch me. That feeling is so empowering that, I
Absolutely.
mean, bitch, imagine what all you want to, but you cannot touch me.
That's
That was so empowering.
yeah. That and this
And
was the
that's,
first time when you went out with everything like makeup and clothes and confidence and attitude.
yeah. And again, I would say it was not really a drag because I was still, exploring with everything. At this
Hmm.
point of time, I did not want to, call myself as a drag queen, because I still try to, avoid calling myself as a drag queen at the most of the times, because I do not want people to use drag queen yet. I mean, yeah, you can remember me, but the only thing is that I still want to improvise and be a better
Right. And
artist in
and
this.
from what I have researched, studied, known, watched about drag queens, it takes a hell lot of time to get into the skin, man. I mean, it
Too
is
much.
such a long process with everything, the makeup, the clothes, the right looks, everything on point. It is so difficult. It's
Yeah,
not, it's hours and hours of work.
it is. I mean, the makeup alone takes at least 1.5, 2 hours, possibly. Depends as well as to, what you're trying to portray and what you're trying to create. Sometimes
Hmm.
it can take 30 minutes, 45 minutes as well, but sometimes it takes a long time. So yeah, it's a long process. And then you have to try, if you are doing full drag right now, if you'll see, I'm still working onto my makeup skills and, trying to create artwork. I don't really get into the costume and dresses yet. I
Hmm.
need to explore and do more with that. Just because of the lockdown, I'm hardly getting any, material to work with. But yeah, that's the reason why, I still do not say that I'm still a full grown drag queen, because my art still needs refinement and the costumes and the whole get up, not just the makeup.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons. But yeah, on that particular day when I was walking down the streets, I can say that, I was may not be drag queen, but I was not masculine. I was a woman with a beard. Weird. But I was walking down the street with this, what do you call it?
I think
Ear cuffs.
it's all about the kind of upbringing we all get, the kind of things we hear from our we have been hearing from family and societies and everything. Like if you're a girl, you have to shave, you have to just be hair free from your body. If you're a guy, it's okay to
Yeah,
keep beard. No one tells you that it's okay. You can just be yourself. You don't have to go and get those eyebrows done or to get those upper lips done. And if you're a guy,
or
you
get the
can't.
eyebrows shaved.
Yeah, or okay, the eyebrows shaped, or just break free from these hair and go bald. We are not. No one tells us that it's normal and it's okay and it can
Yeah,
be done. All these things are put
yeah,
out there as something which we cannot touch, we shouldn't do. And that's why I think we feel like experimenting more and we want to do it more, because we are like, people are saying not to
exactly.
do it, let's just do it. Do you
Yeah.
think, when we are talking about drag now, first of all,
Hmm.
in our country, the entire concept of a drag queen is anyways like unknown. So anyone who knows about it doesn't know it completely. What is it? How is it goes? So I wanted to ask you that how different is Indian drag from foreign drag queen? But it's just a complete invalid question because Indians doesn't even know about it. So forget about how different is it.
Let's just say that drag is something that has been in India for the longest period of time without the term drag. I don't know if you have grown up watching any kind of Ram Leela in your hometown ever.
Yes,
You
yes,
might have noticed there were men who used to dress up as Shrupanakha and play the part of a woman demon.
yes,
So that's actually a drag. We have seen drag since our childhood. We never knew that it was drag. So the thing is, in India, because we never knew the term drag, what exactly drag is, so we only understand that there are men, women, and transgender. We actually don't even know that there's another gender or there are various gender identities which do
yes,
not identify as either of them. So it's obviously India is quite naive in that ways. People are understanding, people are learning, but we really need to inculcate this into our school system so that children grow up understanding that there's nothing wrong for them to be different. And gender is most important, as I believe, because gender is about self-love before loving anyone else, which is the sexuality. I think it is important that we teach our kids to love themselves, which is more about gender expression, gender identity. Yes, body positivity is also there, but I'm talking about gender in terms of, because it's
yes.
also about self love. So we need to inculcate that into our studies. Now, the issue is that a lot of people do not understand that drag is actually an art, not any gender. Because those men who were performing on the stage as Shrupanakha, they were not gay men. They were actually straight men who take the role for the money and they play their part. It's actually theater. So that is what drag is. Drag is about a person getting into a costume and perform something, probably a piece of dance work, probably song, probably a monologue, probably a theater act, whatever they perform. It's again a performance. Okay, so a person can wear costume to portray a character. That is what drag is. There's nothing more to it. So we this is something that people really need to understand, that drag and gender are two separate things, just like gender and sexuality are two separate things, just like sex and sexuality are two separate things. So these are different things. We do not need to confuse them. And that is, having said that, there are a lot of drag queens in India who are doing amazing work, and they have been breaking the stereotypes of what drag is. For example, we have Zish, we have Hitain, we have Glorious Luna, we have Miss Benji, we have Tropical Marka, we have Lush Monsoon, we have Mademoiselle. I don't know how many queens I'm going to take the names of, but all of these queens, if you go through their profile, if you see their work, they are all different in their own way. One is a political queen, one is a Bollywood queen, one is a dancing queen, one is a burlesque queen, one is a rapping queen, one is wacky queen, one is, you know, something. And they all have their own art style, their own way of portrayal of a character. Zish and Hitain, they both have completely different outlook towards drag. Zish would have a lot of alien-looking creatures. Hitain would have a lot of, not probably alien, but a lot of tribal and genderless looks. So everyone
After
is
all,
creating so much of
it's
artwork.
about creating, it's about expressing,
Exactly.
whatever you have going on in your mind, it's all about that. It's
Just expressing yourself from the heart.
it's wonderful. I think it's so beautiful when you can do that and create something so amazing and mystic out of it. It's been
Exactly.
amazing to talk to you today. I have no words to express and explain the emotions I'm feeling, because the way that you spoke today, I think you poured your heart out. And I know it must have been difficult to just go back and think about everything that has happened and just talk about it over and over again. It's not just me. You must be talking about it to so many people at so many different times, because you are right now empowering so many other people, and by sharing your story you are giving hope to so many people out there, and telling them that it's okay, you're gonna survive. Just hold on to your dreams, hold on to yourself, hold on to whatever you think is right, and just move forward. So thank you so much for doing this.
It was a pleasure and it was an honor. Thank you so much for having me. And I hope people would continue to at least fight back to own their space and own their existence. That's what is important in the end.
This was episode 11, and that was Divya Roop's story. I hope this story in some way helps someone out there by giving them hope and strength to fight. Now, I want to tell you all something. This past week has been very eventful. I finally came back home to be with my family. This entire month actually has been about packing and unpacking, and I want to tell you more about it, but not today. What I can tell you today is that there's something more that's being added to stories you should know. Along with these beautiful and empowering stories, there will be few episodes of me talking to you all about life, love, loss, and more. So I hope that you would like to hear from me every now and then. For now, it's time to say goodbye. I'll be back next week. Stay safe, everyone. Help someone if you can, and be kind. This is Misty signing off.